Go.
Alright, next up, I think we will look at, while we're at Train Tales, let's look at this character next, who is an original character made by Mr. Bluebell Engine, the same character who made Boris and Wilson and Alfred. This engine's name is Wilson. If you don't know who he is, Wilson is like a pannier tank engine, kind of like Duck. He has GWR, and he's the number 3 of the gang. So, Wilson was made from Nia, because Nia kind of looks like Duck, in this model at least. The only thing I added to Wilson was gray buffers, since Wilson's buffer beam was kind of plain. I think Wilson is a pretty interesting model. The face comes close to Wilson. I think Wilson's kind of an interesting name for an engine. Some of you may know Wilson from Chuggington, but this is Wilson from Train Tales. I think he looks pretty good. He was kind of too simple. All I had to do was ask Dad to spray paint him black. And then I just painted on the decals. So, next, we'll look at this black saddle tank engine, who is number 5. There's supposed to be a number 4 named Steve, but I haven't made him yet. Although I will make him. Anyways, this engine was made from Percy, and his name is Barry. I really like the name Barry, and I think he was kind of an interesting character in Train Tales. So he's number 5, like I said. I like all the detail on him.
Look at the cat scratches on my finger that are going to be in your video from Tolulo.
That must hurt.
Oh, they're starting to heal up, but in case anyone wonders, the kitten did that.
Anyways, so Barry is just a black saddle tank engine. He's Steve's best friend, if you want to know. And at the end of Train Tales, he gave his life to save Alfred from a huge claw. Now, I felt that was kind of sad that Barry passed away, but I think he's a good character nonetheless. I'm thinking of using him for my stories, like in Train Heaven, when he gets brought out.
That's awesome.
So, it's kind of cool that trains can be brought back to life after they die.
Number 3.
Anyways, let's meet one of Barry's friends that he made in heaven. This character is named 92, but Barry likes to call him Arnold, because having a name is better than having a number. So, Arnold was made from a Thomas Wood James. Originally, Mr. Bluebell Engine used a wooden Donald Douglas tender and a black James to make 92. I think 92 is kind of an interesting character. It's interesting that Barry likes to call him Arnold. Not much I can say about Arnold, but he's kind of interesting. Moving right along, I think we will look at this engine here. So, originally, I was thinking of making this tank engine into Jesse, Calvin Rogers Zosie, but I changed my mind. So I've made this into a custom I've been wanting to make for ever since I made Thomas Wood, Edward, and Henry. This is Duncan, the grumpy narrow gauge engine. I can't tell if Duncan's face looks that good, especially the eyes. They might be a little off, but I still like Duncan's model. The yellow was pretty close to Duncan, and I like the stripes. He's number 6 of the narrow gauge crew. Like Percy, almost. So what do you think of this Thomas Wood Duncan? I'm very happy to make Duncan. I'm glad I have him, after wanting to make him ever since I started this saga. I think the back is pretty interesting. It has the windows. Although the back is not entirely proportionate to Duncan, but it's Percy, so what do you expect? Apart from that, I like Duncan's model. I think this is a pretty good representation of Duncan. Maybe you have yours say. Anyways.
Number 5.
Let's look at this engine next. So this was Lady's old model before I 3D printed her. So, it has the same Rosie. The chassis was taken off to make Lady. If you're wondering what this new chassis is, this chassis comes from Diesel. This engine is from the Furnace Railway in Medieval Misadventures Season 3. And he kind of has like a grumpy face. And his name is Marcus. I really love the name Marcus. It's a pretty good fit for this engine. I think Marcus is pretty interesting as a character. Wonder how many people have the name Marcus. But I think he looks pretty good.
Number 6.
Hang on. Got some food stuck in my teeth. Alright. This is one of my favorite customs I ever made. She is from MLP, and her name is Starlight Glimmer.
Ooh.
I think she's pretty cute as a MLP character, but I like her as a train.
Does MLP stand for My Little Pony?
You got it. Anyways, this is inspired by Train Boy 54, but then again, all MLP trains are inspired by him. So let me explain about Starlight Glimmer's personality. So she kind of has a neutral span where sometimes she's on the good side and sometimes she's working with the villains. Like, when she was first announced, she was known to have stolen other ponies' cutie marks, but they later got them back. She was trying to hide hers.
Cutie marks?
Yep, that's the symbol on the characters.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyways, the face. I really love that face.
Did you draw it or print it?
I drew it.
Very nice.
This is from Equestria Girls. I'm wonder what this hat is. It could be like a beret.
Yeah, it does look like a beret. Or maybe a hair bow.
I don't know.
It's cute.
But I think she looks pretty good. I have an idea to use her in my stories.
Okay.
In episode 3 of Thomas Lee's Equestrian Adventures. Episode 2 will be about Thomas's mother.
Number 7?
Let's see. I think we'll go with these two.
For 7 and 8?
Yep. So these two are sisters, and they are none other than everyone's favorite Corey Diesels. This one here is Mavis, and this one is one of Popular Paxton's original characters. This is actually Melissa.
Oh, that's cute.
People know Mavis pretty well. So, originally she was made from Diesel, but I decided to use Gerald's old model in a Thomas Wood and Toby cowcatcher. If you're sad about me destroying Gerald, don't be, because I plan to get a new Gerald to replace this one. Let me explain about Melissa. Her model was made the same. This is actually a push pin glued with Gorilla Glue, and this face was Melissa's old face. Melissa has got a new face, which I don't pretty like. I actually like this one better. Let me explain about Melissa's character. So, Melissa is Dennis's girlfriend. They've been ever since. Until one day, Dennis got older and lazier, and Melissa stopped spending Christmas with him. Rotten went back in time and got Dennis and Melissa back together. She was originally part of Griffin's evil gang, but because Rotten got Dennis and Melissa back together, she is now still Dennis's girlfriend. And Raphael took Melissa's place. If you don't know, Raphael was one of Dennis's old friends. Anyways, I think Melissa's pretty cute. And I think it's a pretty suiting name since her sister's name is Mavis.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Henrietta and Hannah, where they have the same letter. Mavis and Melissa. So, thanks for watching this custom model segment. And stay tuned where we look at these next. See you there.